It's time now for the morning rush. Former Otero County Commissioner Coy Griffin has been found not guilty of a campaign finance charge. Griffin was accused of failing to register Cowboys for Trump as a political committee. The Secretary of State's office won an arbitration decision in June of 2020 that ordered the group to register as a political committee, file expenditure and contribution reports, and pay a fine of $7,800.
The man whose dog was shot and killed by the San Juan County Sheriff is behind bars this morning. Sheriff Shane Ferrari says that he pulled into the parking lot behind that driver because he did not want to lose that driver, who he deemed a danger to the public. 42-year-old Jamie Nino was the driver who was arrested yesterday on a number of charges.
A man convicted of killing his fiancée will spend the rest of his life in prison. In January 2019, Jeremiah Lopez called 911 and admitted to killing Krishana Perez at their home. Investigators say that Lopez was fueled by jealousy after accusing Perez of cheating on him. Lopez was found guilty of first-degree murder and rape last year. Erica.
And here's a look at our school day forecast. We are dry for now, dry for that morning commute, but we'll see rain and snow showers moving in throughout the morning and daytime hours, so be sure to keep those warmer layers around.
Leaders with the New Mexico Gas Company are explaining why gas bills have spiked this year. At a hearing with the PRC, the company stated a rate increase had impacted customers' bills by an average of about $5 per month. The company says the customers can expect to see bills come down slightly this month, with a more significant decrease next month.
The New Mexico Chief Justice is calling for increased pay for Supreme Court justices. Under Senate Bill 2, justices of the Supreme Court would get the same pay as federal magistrate judges who make $214,000. A legislative analysis of that bill says that would be a $33,000 pay raise for the justices.
The man accused of raping a teenager and trying to meet up with a 12-year-old will spend 20 years in prison. David Munoz has taken a plea deal after he was accused of exchanging messages and then trying to meet up with the girl at Coronado Mall. He was also accused of having a sexual relationship with the teenager and making sexually explicit videos of her.
New Mexico State students and employees will no longer be required to get a COVID vaccine. The university is also no longer requiring employees and students to report positive cases through the online portal system. Students in campus halls will no longer have to move to an isolation room following a positive test. Erica.
And here's a look at our threat index. It is high today. We'll see high winds across the state, especially southern New Mexico, with dust storms possible. And we'll see rain and snow showers across New Mexico through today. Heaviest snow will be around the higher terrain.
A counselor at Tularosa Public Schools is waiting extradition this morning after being accused of raping a minor in Virginia years ago. A woman came forward last year saying 52-year-old Darren Wade Powell had a sexual relationship with her in 2004. The alleged victim was 15 years old at the time, and he was her court-ordered counselor.
One of the nation's biggest drug makers is drastically lowering the price of its insulin products. Nationally, the Inflation Reduction Act that took effect in January imposed a monthly cap on insulin for all seniors on Medicaid. Drug company Eli Lilly is going to be cutting the price of its commonly used forms of insulin by 70%. Erica.
All right, a check on traffic. We are seeing tracker going, looking clear on the metro. Trackers going north on I-25 towards Montgomery, where we're starting to see busier conditions on the roads, but no immediate weather issues.
Residents in one North Carolina neighborhood are utterly confused to find cows roaming the streets. 13 cows were captured on home security cameras all over a Fayetteville, North Carolina neighborhood. The cows, it turns out, are from a nearby farm that has been there far longer than the housing development. And that's where they do what cows normally do, just grazing and just lying around.
Time now for the 5 facts.
At number 5, some local teens will soon have their own set of wheels thanks to APD's latest outreach project. The Duke City Leadership Lowrider Bike Club is a new after-school program at Westgate Community Center. Each student will receive a bicycle and a new bike kit. With the help of volunteers from Albuquerque's lowrider community and first responders, the students will customize their bikes. The goal is to use New Mexico's popular car culture to connect youth with positive role models and law enforcement.
At number 4 this morning, new life could be coming to a historic Albuquerque building that has been vacant since the 1980s. The Crest building in the heart of downtown has faced its fair share of vandalism over the decades. Now, plans to revitalize the Crest has been in the works now for about 4 years, but slowed down because of COVID. Now, the building's owner is teaming up with Victoria Van Dam to hopefully turn the building into a new attraction, all while keeping its historic charm.
And at number 3, we're going to be seeing snow and rain across the state. It's starting to move more into western New Mexico and the northern part of the state now, but we'll be seeing this whole storm bring scattered rain and snow showers through tonight.
And number 2, new this morning, former Otero County Commissioner Coy Griffin has been found not guilty of a campaign finance charge. Griffin was on trial, accused of failing to register Cowboys for Trump as a political committee. The Secretary of State's office won an arbitration decision in June of 2020 that ordered the group to register as a political committee, file expenditure and contribution reports, and pay a fine of $7,800. Griffin said that donations were used for travel to support conservative ideals without raising money for a political candidate. The jury sided with Griffin. The dismissed charge against Griffin carried a potential punishment of up to a year in prison.
We're now hearing from the San Juan County Sheriff about video circulating where he shot a dog. Sheriff Shane Ferrari says he followed the man into the parking lot because he didn't want to lose the driver. Ferrari wraps up saying he takes no pride in shooting the dog.